The job landscape has really changed over the years. Nowadays, the average time someone spends with their employer is at an all-time low. It seems like we've shifted from full-time positions to part-time roles, casual gigs, and even freelance work, which has changed our expectations about long-term career relationships. Interestingly, some companies are using the threat of job losses as a way to encourage productivity and keep expenses down. But this approach can backfire. The decline in job security impacts both employees and businesses, and it's clear that a lot of people are feeling the stress. We're seeing layoffs, rising prices, and some staff cuts in schools, with significant shifts happening already in 2024. If you look back before the 1980s, it was common for people to spend their entire careers at one company. Loyalty was a two-way street, with both workers and employers valuing stability. In movies from that era, getting fired was a huge event. Today, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, things have changed dramatically. It's definitely a different world out there. I can't help but notice how much things have changed in the workplace. Back then, losing a job was a big deal that people genuinely cared about. Nowadays, getting fired or laid off often just becomes a story to share on TikTok. While it might seem entertaining, this trend could pose challenges for companies, as the fear of job loss has long been a motivator for many employees. After all, if someone isn't doing their job or causing issues, it's understandable that they might risk losing their position along with the pay and benefits that come with it. As the wise Peter Gibbons would put it, some people may only work just hard enough to avoid being fired. The reality is that with the decline of job security, many now expect to face job loss at some point in their careers. So why has it gotten to this point? Here are 3 reasons why this attitude has emerged. First up, many companies have shifted away from investing in training their staff. There's an old joke about a conversation between a CEO and the head of HR about the costs of training. The CEO worries about spending money on training only to have employees leave, while the HR head counters on what happens if they don't train and those employees stay. With more people changing jobs frequently, the CEO's concern is beginning to resonate. Research from Peter Capelli at the Wharton School revealed that the average worker received about 2.5 weeks of training each year in 1979. By 2004, that had dropped to just 11 hours, mostly focused on safety rather than new skills. A follow-up survey in 2011 found that only about 1/5 of workers received any on-the-job training in the past year. Companies are understandably hesitant to invest in training when they see employees leaving so often. As a result, they're more inclined to hire individuals who already possess the skills needed for the job. Thanks to standardized systems, this process has become a lot easier and has lowered barriers for job seekers, allowing them to find positions where they qualify more easily. As a result, people tend to switch jobs more frequently, which leads companies to invest less in training less committed staff. This cycle creates a greater demand for industry-standard systems. The ultimate expression of this trend is seen in platform-based gig work, where the professional relationship lasts only as long as the app is operational. Workers often juggle multiple apps simultaneously to maximize their earnings and reduce downtime. If you want to advance in your career today, you must be prepared to invest your own time and money into additional training. Even if it means obtaining a seemingly meaningless qualification, companies are no longer inclined to offer comprehensive training. As a result, whether you quit or get laid off, the situation becomes less significant for both parties involved. The decline in job security poses challenges for companies, even if they inadvertently contributed to the situation. When you start a new job, it typically takes time to reach your full performance potential, especially since standardized systems make it easier to transfer basic skills between companies. However, minor details like knowing whom to contact for expense report authorization, the names of clients, or even how the office printer operates, still require time for new employees to learn. According to a study by Gallup, a business analytics company, it takes the average employee about 12 months to achieve their full performance potential in a new role. Recent studies have highlighted an interesting trend in the workplace. New employees often don't feel fully in control of their responsibilities for the first 18 months on the job. Many individuals spend just about 3 years in any given role, which means a significant chunk of their time, almost 1/3 of their early career, is just spent getting acclimated. This can raise concerns about productivity, especially for employers. However, contrary to what one might expect, worker productivity is actually soaring to all-time highs. This leads us to an intriguing question. Is this high productivity a response to decreasing job security, or is it a result of it? One compelling reason why job security is becoming more elusive is that it can sometimes act as a double-edged sword in motivation. If the fear of losing one's job only drives employees to meet the bare minimum, companies have taken notice and are changing their strategies. A fascinating study from economists at Manchester and Cardiff University explored this concept of manufactured job uncertainty. They looked into why feelings of job insecurity were on the rise, even when actual firing rates remained stable. They compared companies in the US and the UK, where layoffs are more common, to Japanese firms, which typically have a strong culture of never firing employees, and they discovered some eye-opening insights. In Japan, they have a term called odashibeya, or workers' purgatory, which refers to the practice of placing underperforming employees in a non-productive state instead of letting them go. These employees might find themselves in a room with little to do, forced into tedious tasks, or even have their business cards taken away. This contrasts sharply with American and UK companies, where layoffs can be more frequent. The economists found that even when job tenure was stable, the anxiety created by company mergers and acquisitions could raise feelings of uncertainty among employees. Companies learned that by amplifying this uncertainty, they could encourage workers to push harder and compete against each other, fostering a sense of urgency around performance. Interestingly, Japanese firms, despite facing economic challenges and having shorter manager tenures, reported higher levels of job security. This is a testament to how fostering a supportive and stable environment can lead to both employee satisfaction and productivity. While job security might be on the decline, the relationship between job satisfaction, motivation, and productivity is more complex than it seems. Emphasizing a positive workplace culture and support can lead to remarkable outcomes for both employees and companies alike. Job security has become a thing of the past, and the reasons behind this shift are both fascinating and understandable. For years, companies have prioritized a culture that protects workers, sometimes at the expense of shareholders. However, it turns out this approach hasn't resonated with younger employees. Many younger managers have grown up witnessing numerous layoffs and no longer feel the same sense of job security that older generations enjoy. They're less afraid of job loss and more inclined to seek better opportunities when their current roles become unfulfilling. This brings us to an interesting point about productivity. While it's important for companies to let go of underperformers, adopting a rank and yank strategy can create an atmosphere of anxiety that ultimately drives even the best employees to look elsewhere. Younger workers have caught on to a crucial insight. Changing jobs every couple of years can be one of the best ways to advance their careers and secure salary increases. So, if you're looking to boost your earnings and career trajectory, consider this. Multiple studies suggest that regularly seeking new positions can lead to greater salary growth. Companies have shifted their focus and no longer prioritize staff loyalty, mainly because it simply isn't feasible for them. While hiring external candidates might seem easier than promoting from within, it often fails to build a stable company culture. Moreover, today's workers recognize that career development and benefits like pensions are largely their responsibility. They want the freedom that comes with that accountability, especially as they navigate a landscape where job stability feels like a myth. Even traditional, well-established companies have faced instability, leading people to think twice about the promise of secure employment. In short, job security isn't the desirable selling point it used to be. Today's workforce has learned not to place their trust entirely in their employer, and this has transformed the job market. Thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe for more.